Album review. What? We getting back into review territory, mates? Anyway, here's a review of pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Their first album released in 1973. What can I say about Lynyrd Skynyrd that's not been said already? But I'm kind of going off script here. First thoughts. Many tracks on this album are simply iconic. Everybody knows Freebird, everybody knows Simple Man, everybody knows Gimme 3 Steps. It's going to be really easy for this album to get a high grade because of the small number of tracks across its 43-minute runtime. I'm excited to listen to it, and I'm predicting a high grade in the 70s or 80s. As always, scoring is on a 10-point scale, where the lowest is F-, 10 out of 100 points possible, and the highest is A+, 100 out of 100 points possible. And scored with a maximum of its track total times 100, in which case, say, 800 points, because there are 8 tracks. I copy and pasted this from an older review I did, and it says 1400 points because there are 1400 tracks. Ah, man. That was a crazy one. You all know the scale. If you've been keeping up with these reviews, I shouldn't have to read it off. Track 1, I Ain't the One. The album opens with a drum solo over some panning noise that sounds not unlike an airplane. The noise stops and we enter a subtle... Wow, I had a stroke. I'm going to leave that in just for, posterity, that's the word. The album opens with a drum solo over some panning noise that sounds not unlike an airplane. The noise stops and we enter our central guitar riff. Multiple guitars are present, playing overlapping notes. The melody itself is nothing special, but it feels like it should be an opening track. It's not a riveting song, but it feels like something that was made to be on an album and to start a central concept. YouTube uploaded this as super quiet for some reason. I had to really crank the volume. There's one thing Skynyrd is known for, its fantastic guitar solos, and those totally bump up each track at least a point or two. It's a perfectly cromulent opener, and a track I feel I should grow on me. The ending's great too, I like it. It's an A. Track 2, Tuesday's Gone. Somber opening, it really feels like I'm about to listen to a heavy hitter. There's something about that slide guitar, you know? It hits close to home. It's a really pretty instrumental. Looking at the lyrics, the song's some part about loss and some part the passage of time. Tuesday's gone with the wind, and so is this baby. And admittedly, I'm listening off YouTube, and it sounds way better in FLAC or vinyl, but even through bad compression, I could really feel this song. It's such a nice and pretty track. It's 7 full minutes, so I have a decent amount of time to write down a massive review. I love long songs, but only when used right. Long songs can't really be singles. You can either have one at the end of an album or have a whole album of massive tracks. I wonder how anyone could ever dislike this. The piano solo goes on for what feels like an eternity, and the guitar comes back with the same melody the song opened up with, coming full circle. How beautiful. It's good soul music. Not just good soul, it's great soul. The poor cymbals are not taking well to YouTube compression. This is an epic, a story told only partially in words. I really need to get a FLAC of this. It's an A+. Track 3. Gimme 3 Steps. Took me a long time to find the lyrics for this one in the comments. The bass is super high in the mix here, which is so pleasing to the ear. I can't tell very well, but the vocals might be double tracked and they sound pretty cool. It's not a song about courage, it's not about an epic fight, it's about not playing games with the wrong end of a gun. The instrumentation is excellent and blends with the vocals really well. I like the fade out, it's alright enough. It's an A. Track 4, Simple Man. This was, I think, my dad's favorite song for a long time. That bass opening is just fantastic. It's completely unforgettable. I know all the words, and I sampled it for something I did a long time ago. I love everything about Simple Man. It, as the kids say, is straight fire. Fantastic song through and through. Love yourself before focusing on anything else and know what you're doing. It's been on my personal bangers playlist for a very long time, though I don't really update that list anymore. I was actually, when I'm recording this, in the mood for Call of Duty Zombies. I went and played Call of Duty Zombies. I'm still okay at it, I guess. I kind of get a little bored of it now, though. It's not a very interesting game. It's an A+ song with 0 imperfections, all 6 minutes of it. Beautiful. A+. Track 5. Things Going On. I'm feeling good after Simple Man, so I feel I'll take well out of this next track. I'm not sure if the hiss I detect in my right ear is simply from the tape this album was recorded on, or the aux cord of my headphones messing around. I can totally detect that tape hiss, I swear. The song's got a funky bass and more Creedence Clearwater Revival style than anything else. It's very well orchestrated. There's not one thing out of place. It probably took so much rehearsal. The second verse is kind of hard to understand. The instrumentals seem to go on forever, and that's a good thing because I don't get tired of them easily. It's decently long, and it's kind of alright. It's an A-. Track 6, Mississippi Kid. I swear I've heard this before outside that one time I heard this album before this. It's so familiar. Maybe because there's a lot of songs that sound like it. The lyrics are simple enough and anyone can understand. The stereo mix here is really weird. You can have the high string guitars in both ears playing completely separately and completely panned to either channel with nothing in the center mix aside from vocals. I can't tell any drums besides maybe a slight kick. The harmonica physically hurts my ears and I'm really not a fan of this song. Though I could never compose anything this good and likely most people couldn't, I'm not wowed. I'm not even impressed. How I'd go as far to say is it's not great. The taste and noise at the end is neat, I guess. It's a B+. Track 7. Poison Whiskey. Single shortest track on this album by a long shot. This is heavy music. I'm not synesthetic, but the song sounds black. Not black as an African, but black as the absence of light. It's got weight and force. It's heavy, like something physical. All you need to take away from this is alcohol is poison. I hate the taste of it. In all forms, it's just bad. I love this song, though. It's seemingly the most viewed track on this album, and it's a solid A. Track 8. Freebird. Had this one also in my banger playlist for ages and then some, and I also sampled this one. There's something about the almost ethereal way the track opens, and that centered guitar just sounds hauntingly beautiful. It's so unique, and there's no way to find anything like it even today. It's stuck as a product of the 70s. The lyrics, once again, are simple, but oh, so impactful. It can be about whatever you want, just being incompatible, death, maybe even distant love that never worked out. The tone is so somber, you can almost feel like goodbye shouldn't be said, both to the character and the song and to yourself. This is the last track on the album. It's so freaking good. Everyone knows Freebird and everyone loves Freebird. It's a flawless song and anything can be done while that song is playing. Who could forget that solo too? Unpopular opinion, but I prefer the first 4 minutes of Freebird rather than that glorious solo. I get it's a meme and such, but I think it goes on a little too long. Make all the speeding jokes you want, and speeding limits legally don't apply if Freebird is playing. I was once playing GTA San Andreas. I was in San Fierro, I was listening to the radio during a mission, and I was like, wow, this song is so familiar. I wonder where I've heard it. And then the solo kicks in, and I'm like, holy shit, Freebird. Unfortunately, I don't think I wanted that attempt. It was the mission where you have to swipe packages from a bunch of bikers. Freebird is an A+ song that goes on a little too long than it should, but it detracts in no way from the experience. Final thoughts. A masterpiece from beginning to end, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd, is one of the best albums not only of its year, but of its decade. I have no other words than, listen to this right now. You all read the scoring system, you all know the score. 720 out of 800, or a perfect 90%, give this album an exact A grade. Listen, and then listen again. Do it now. No excuses. I'm gonna go buy this on vinyl. Oh man, I love it. Alright, that's been the review.